Buenas and Hapa Day. I'm Julian Hernandez with the Pacific Daily News, and these are the top stories from the PDN Newsroom.
Increased cost of living are prompting many of Guam's adult residents to stay with family members instead of renting or buying their own homes. From high utility bills to steep rent prices, financial strains are making it more practical for some to share housing with family or friends rather than take on a steep financial burden. A lot of people are moving into family members' houses just to try and get by until they find something that is affordable, which is very hard to do nowadays. Senorita Sumay Napu Tapasna said, "It really is." In 2018, Tapasna and his family lived in a PD apartment, paying $700 a month in rent, plus $200 to $250 in utilities. By 2022, they moved in with a relative. While they no longer pay rent, their utility costs have risen to $900 to $1,000 a month. In other news, Guam's grocery store food prices went down a bit, except for some items such as fresh fruits and beef, while overall medical care costs soared by nearly 17%, along with gas prices by nearly 12% in the second quarter of 2024 compared to a year ago. Overall, the average cost of basic consumer goods and services on Guam went up by 4.4% in the April to June period compared to the same period last year. These are based on the Guam Bureau of Statistics and Plan's latest Consumer Price Index report covering the second quarter of 2024. It went from 163.6 percentage points in the second quarter of 2023 to 170.7 during the same 3-month period this year. The Consumer Price Index is a measure of the average change over time in the prices paid by consumers for a market basket of consumer goods and services. Finally, Pacific Star Resort and Spa owes about $4.9 million in taxes, according to an operating report filed in the Tumon Hotel's ongoing bankruptcy case. Mariana's Properties, which does business as Pacific Star, filed for bankruptcy on September 12, hours before Bank of Guam was set to auction the hotel over a defaulted loan. Parties are set to appear before District Court of Guam Chief Judge Francis Tidinko Gatewood on New Year's Eve to argue whether the foreclosure should proceed. A liability report filed in federal court lists $2.8 million in gross receipt taxes and $2.1 million in hotel occupancy taxes owed to the government as of October 31st, along with an outstanding accounts payable balance of $2.4 million. A small, intimate group of friends and like-minded individuals gathered to mourn and honor the last mature Sariantes nelsonii tree, which died earlier this month at Marine Corps Base Camp Blas. The håyun lågu Memorial and Candlelight Vigil offered those in attendance a chance to share their thoughts surrounding the critically endangered tree, following a simple ceremony held in the closing light of dusk on Saturday at the Retidian Overlook. Original landowners and cultural groups blamed the military construction at Camp Blas for the death of the tree. The seedlings and sprouts that originated from the last håyun lågu, or at least the ones that survived, tree remain under military protection, avoiding extinction. The håyun lågu tree species is only found on Guam and Rota. In other news, Governor Lulian Guerrero on Sunday night said it will be an honor to welcome Taiwan President Lai Ching-te to Guam later this week as part of his Pacific tour, adding she'd bring up the continued tourism and cultural partnerships between Guam and Taiwan. Lai will be visiting the governor at Adelu. A December 5th luncheon at Hyatt Regency Guam has also been prepared by the Taiwan Economic and Cultural Office, TECO, in Guam for Lai's visit. It's certainly an honor that the President of Taiwan is visiting us. If the President of China wants to visit us, we will certainly welcome him too, just because we need to be internationally friendly with everybody, the governor said when asked about Beijing's fierce criticism of Lai's visit not only to the U.S. state of Hawaii, but also to the U.S. territory of Guam. China claims democratically governed Taiwan as its own territory and objects to official exchanges between Taiwan and the U.S. The U.S. is Taiwan's most important partner but maintains a strategic ambiguity when it comes to putting boots on the ground to defend the island from China. Finally, as cases of anxiety and depression continue to rise and remain the most prevalent mental health conditions on Guam, a permanent psychiatrist has been hired to oversee Guam's first ever transcranial magnetic stimulation (TMS) treatment that the Todu Foundation launched in February. Psychiatrist Dr. Danny McClure, certified by the American Board of Psychiatry and Neurology, was brought to Guam to manage the TMS service. He described it as a 30-minute outpatient stimulation treatment that delivers magnetic pulses to areas of the brain that are impacted by mental health conditions. TMS is a non-invasive brain treatment that uses magnetic pulses to stimulate nerve cells in the brain. For more of these stories, go to GuamPDN.com and follow us on social media.